Do not do uncalculated movements before going outside of the hostel. Make sure you know that you have fees to pay, electricity bills, the management fee depends on where you're staying, and they are all different prices. Okay, I live here in Jinan City and I pay about three. I'm Jane, and you're welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're watching from YouTube, you're welcome. If you're watching from WeChat, please go to YouTube so you can watch the full video. I promise you, if you have the aspiration of coming to China, but you don't know how to go about a lot of things, or rather, I put a lot of things for you guys automatically. So this is gonna be very helpful for people aspiring to come to China and actually abroad in general. And if you're just seeing me for the first time, I'm going to do another introduction. I'm Jane Burnett, and I'm an expert here in China. My tongue is really rolling today. Okay, so on today's video, I talked about on my previous video about the advantage of staying outside the hostel if you're a student, or even if you're a worker, like you're working here, and they offer to give you an accommodation. You can also choose to live outside your accommodation in the dormitory. So on today's video, it's about the disadvantage of living outside your dormitory. Yes. First, I'd like to start with the fees. Ooh, I don't want to cry, you guys. In as much as it's amazing to stay outside the hostel, like live your life, freedom, no teacher to disturb you, and no school to always check up on you, but you'll definitely be ready for the fees, okay? It depends on the kind of house. If you've not watched my previous video on how to select a very nice house, and maybe affordable houses for you as an expat here in China, please go through the playlist, and I'm going to link it here as well. Okay. Yeah, the fees can be crazy. Okay, sometimes depending on if you're here on scholarship, self-sponsorship, or any forms of scholarship, and it depends on your city. Okay, most cities in China, living outside is really very expensive. The landed property here in China is way expensive, okay? So it's rather advisable to live inside the hostel. And I think living inside the hostel as well can be very cheap, okay? It's more affordable than staying outside. Like I said, it depends on the province or the city or living in. Okay, so yeah, apart from the fees being crazy, depends. I mean, you guys, we all know that you can catch up with something outside, even if, but yeah, the fees.
No Jordan. Holt's collection plate is never empty.
Please do not do uncalculated movements before going outside of the hostel. Make sure you know that you have fees to pay, electricity bills, the management fee depends on where you're staying, and they are all different prices. Okay, I live here in Jinan City and I pay about approximately 300 yuan per month just for the management. It's not lights or water bill inclusive, no. And living outside, you have to buy your own Wi-Fi, you have to pay for your own water, you have to pay for your own, a lot, okay? But some hostel actually allows you, or rather ask you to pay for maybe some Wi-Fi fees or like electricity, but I know mine, it's totally very free. Okay, if you're on scholarship, okay, if you're on scholarship. And another tip too, or rather disadvantage too of staying outside of the hostel is basically the security, you guys. I cannot overemphasize this, okay? the security here outside, I might say it's not compared to staying in the hostel. Okay, yeah, China is safe. It's super safe, by the way. Okay, you can go out at any time, but living outside, you may have, I'm not sure, but I mean, the security is not compared to staying within the school environment because school is more safe. They shuffle the people that comes inside, and it's basically safe. Okay, staying outside could be very dangerous. Now depends on where you're staying and the availability or the management of the area. Okay. Number three on the disadvantage of living outside your hostel, especially as a student, is, freedom. It's an advantage, but trust me, it can be a disadvantage if you cannot control yourself, okay? In the hostel, we may be asked to do this, to do that, with the supervision of the international teachers and the lodge management, the dormitory management, depends on where you're coming or how you're pronouncing it, okay? But if you live outside, you have the freedom mindset, and if you don't use it wisely, trust me, you're gonna regret coming outside of the hostel. What I mean is, you are prone to partying. I know you can still party in the hostel, but you're living outside the dormitory is like you're free like a bird. You are free, okay? So you should control yourself if you plan to stay outside of the hostel, and also use that advantage of actually staying outside of the hostel to know your way forward as a student here in China. If you're going to make connections, if you're going to meet new people, try to grow your connection board, try to, get contact of people that may be really relevant to you after your graduation. I think this is very important, okay? But disadvantages, if you don't know all these things, you may actually get lost, okay? So that is another disadvantage. That is another disadvantage, and yeah. I think these are basically okay. These are basically the disadvantages of staying outside of the hostel. And you guys, I'm not sure if I should say this, but another disadvantage of staying outside of the hostel is you may be unfortunate to meet cruel people. What I mean is sometimes you may be unfortunate to meet a very cruel neighbor, maybe that is not so used to foreigners living around them. They could just, sometimes they could even lie against you, even something you didn't do. Yeah, but in the hostel, I don't think you can. There's any problem there, because if the hostel offers admission, if the school offers admission to international students, I'm not sure you will. No, I don't think so. You cannot meet such people. And sometimes some landlords can be very dangerous, okay? And some communities can also be very dangerous. So before you move out, I'm not saying moving out is bad, and I'm not going to discourage anyone to not move out, because I am outside, okay? Even if the feet is doing me pa pa pa. But yeah, I'm outside, and I would really advise who wants to move out and who is ready to move out to move out. But please and please and please do not move out without making researches of the area, the total amount you have to pay per month. Okay, per month. Please make all those researches before you sign any contract. And if you have any questions on how to find an apartment in China, I'm always there on my comment section. Please, you can comment and also ask me the question. I'm gonna leave my details. I'm gonna leave my details in the description box, and maybe I could put it in the screen. Okay, but if I don't put it in the screen, it's okay. I'm gonna leave them in the description box. You can chat me on Instagram. You can message me on my email. Yeah. Okay. So I'm so grateful for you guys to listen to me, and I hope this stage really help you and save you from a lot of heartbreaks and troubles. Okay. Thank you so much, and I will see you in my next video. I love you so much.